Hi, Gemini. I hope all of you are doing well. This is your bonus love reading. I am filming this in April, but it is timeless, so it should resonate whenever you find it. Also, I've started a channel just for you guys, so I'll be uploading all of my weekly Gemini readings on this channel, as well as other Gemini content, Gemini with different signs, all kinds of stuff, Gemini twin flames. So if that is something you're interested in, the link to the new channel is in the description box down below. I do still give away free weekly readings, and the information on how to participate in that is also in the description box below as well. So I am just going to finish cutting my deck, and we'll get some love messages for Gemini. If you're watching for a Gemini, just reverse the roles because it'll feel like I'm speaking to you about your Gemini. And there you are, coming out in your own reading, Gemini. All right, let's see what we have for you. Bottom of your deck is the Devil. Oh no. So probably this has been a weird time in your life. I'm seeing kind of this energy of feeling like things aren't moving with this Empress and the reverse. This is your energy for where you're at in your life. So I feel like a lot of you are kind of going within at this time. You may be feeling like you're not really seeing very many changes in the 3D realm or the material realm. This is kind of the energy of wanting expansion, wanting more for yourself, but also feeling like you've come to this point where everything you're doing has not been fruitful. Now, I know that everything is kind of a big word, right? Because obviously there's things in your life that are going well, but I feel as though you're kind of in this space of wondering what's going to change in your life, right? For some of you, you might be doing some meditating or trying to trust the process, tapping into like your higher knowledge, or trying to get in touch with your higher self. It feels like there's a lot of energy still dedicated to the past. Now, this could be just situations in your life, or this could be a love partner, because we did have the Two of Cups coming out with the past and compromise in the reverse. So I feel like you got into this place because you walked away from something that just wasn't proving to be fruitful in your life as far as your love life. You could have given someone an ultimatum and it feels like nothing happened, right? They obviously stayed where they were, or it feels like they didn't take you serious, so you ended up having to move on. But I feel like now you're dealing with the aftermath of that decision, because there's an energy here of you at one time being very sure that you should have left the situation. And I'm not saying that you're not sure now, because you do have this Queen of Swords coming out. So this is a lot of clarity. But it's kind of like, okay, now that I'm done with this, what's next for me, right? I feel like you're almost in this limbo with what I'm seeing here, because there's an energy of things not manifesting on the timeline that it feels like you're expecting, right? If you go through your life and you get rid of all of the things that have not been working, or you get rid of the people that have been taking you for granted, you would think that the universe would catch up, right? And it would start delivering people to you that match your definition of worthwhile, right? It's just kind of one of those things that we expect, where it's like, okay, I've done the work, so where are the rewards, right? For my labor, for my efforts. I feel like they haven't materialized yet, right? So there's kind of this frustration. For some of you, I feel like because you're just in this energy of waiting for the next phase of your life to commence, perhaps you're doing a lot of replaying of past situations. You could be taking this time to deal with old hurts. I feel like what's surprising to you at this time is that you thought that leaving a situation where you were being taken for granted would be the hardest thing that you had to do. What I'm seeing now is that the aftermath feels as though it's even more difficult, because it's almost like you have no more distractions. There's nothing to think about except for yourself, your life, right? And so it's kind of hard, because when you initiated your plan to go out into the world, to leave what you knew, right? Perhaps you wanted to reinvent your life completely or reinvent yourself so that you could attract a new class of relationship or people. In your mind, it was as simple as disconnecting from everything and everyone that it felt like wasn't matching your new vibration. Now that you've gotten to the other side of that, you're beginning to see that that was only the first step and that there's still so much more, it feels like, to do, right? Some of you may be doing like hypnotherapy or trying to stop a bad habit. You could also be dealing with issues around self-esteem at this time, because I feel like with this energy, you're taking stock of where you are. And I feel like it's not a surprise in the sense that you don't know who you are, but it's just like, okay, if I'm not getting the results I want, what more is there to change? I can't change my environment anymore, right? I've changed everything about myself. Now I have to start doing some of this shadow work. I feel like you already had begun doing shadow work, and that's what led you to want to make this massive shift in your life. And so it's a little bit disheartening to feel like now there's still so much more to do, right? For some of you, you're changing the way that you work. For some of you, you're looking at the past and seeing times that you settled, right? And rather than blaming the people that you settled for, you're trying to get to the bottom of what led you to settle to begin with. So that's very good, doing a lot of deep shadow work, but I feel like it's kind of triggering because there's a lot of like emotions at this time that you're trying to sort out. It's like you're trying to figure out what the takeaway is. If you quit doing something toxic or you quit giving to a toxic situation, there's supposed to be that moment where everything makes sense, right? This is why this all happened. This is what this happened for, right? This was the lesson. This was the purpose of this. And I feel like because you haven't reached that part of the story, you're kind of getting stuck in a slump where it's like, I don't have a why, right? I don't have a reason. And I don't have anything to show me how far I've come, right? For some of you, I'm picking up on the feeling that perhaps you feel like you have less now than you did before you started doing the heavy work, right? Of trying to unpack things that needed to be addressed or removing toxicity from your life, right? When I'm looking into kind of what's on your mind, what's bothering you right now, you got the Two of Cups. So I feel like you cut somebody out of your life, because it seemed like they didn't value the connection or they weren't willing to reciprocate. And whoever this is with this Two of Cups, this is somebody that you really felt a strong tie to. We have the Lovers, we have the Devil. So it's just like, how could you have met the person that it feels like you're supposed to be with, but this love feels so unfair, right? I feel like you're looking at your story and you're trying to make sense of everything that's happened, but you're trying to also figure out, why does it feel like the happy ending never comes for you? What is the point, right, of leaving people that you care about to try to reaffirm boundaries or to set an example if it feels like all it does is take you further away from where you're trying to go, which really is a relationship that's healthy, right? Because now it seems as though this person, they're not coming up in these first few cards. If anything, it seems as though you're not in communication with them at all. So it's hard to feel like you made the best choice when you're not seeing any kind of movement, right? You got Strength in the reverse for what you want. So for some of you, it feels like you kind of want to give up on this journey. You want to give up on this new life, because that's going back to that energy of like, what's the point? What was the purpose of this? I made the choices that I thought were right for me, And I thought other people would see my value and follow suit. But now I'm here by myself and time is just going by, right? I feel like there's kind of an energy of wanting to come out of conflict with whoever this is. But there's also an energy of just wanting to be done with all of the things that you're feeling. You know, I feel like you're kind of going through a dark night of the soul right now, Geminis. So just hang in there, because I do believe that's exactly it, that this is happening for a reason, right? You start your spread with the Empress in the reverse. And I see that for a lot of you, you just want to go back to feeling good, right? Because when the Empress is in the reverse, that's a really stagnant feeling, but it's kind of a depressing feeling. Like your energy is very, very heavy for me as I'm tapping into this. I feel like you're ready for a break from some of this really heavy shadow work or loneliness that it feels like perhaps all of you have been feeling, right? And I feel like that is coming for you, because when I'm looking into the rest of your spread, as well as with this Empress coming out, it's showing me that what you want is coming, is just taking longer than you anticipated. And so with the Devil, I feel like those are your fears, right? Those are your doubts. That's everything kind of kicking in to tell you, like, why would you want something more for yourself? Why would you expect bigger for you? You know, you should have stayed with what was familiar, what was comfortable. But the thing is, Gemini, that voice is your ego. And your ego is upset because you took the steps to transcend your ego and build an authentic life, you know, and really put your ego to rest. And your ego controls your fear, it controls your doubt. It doesn't like that, right? So, of course, when things feel like they're at their darkest, your inner critic will activate and start saying things to you that make you feel worse. So I just want you to know that that's not who you really are, right? You're just kind of going through this dark night of the soul energy. But I'm seeing that you can actually remove yourself from this energy at any time. It's almost like you're keeping yourself there. So let's look into this further. 3 of Swords in reverse for something that you are unaware of. So whatever you think you've lost, Gemini, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not gone. Okay? It's kind of like you're on a break, but for you, because you're not seeing evidence of that and everything is so quiet and still, you feel like there's nothing more that you can do, when in reality, that is not the case at all. Okay? Here's our Emperor, right? Coming out in the reverse. We've been talking a lot about our Empress stepping into their power, but where's the counterpart? Well, here he is, under what you don't know. This person thought that they could have a new life because they were running from this ending. They were running from changing something that it seems like you needed them to change, or fixing something that it feels like you needed them to fix. But with the cards that I'm seeing, wherever they go, it's like they only see you, or they only think about you, right? So this person can't run from you forever. And that's something that you don't realize, is that this person, they're starting to see that whatever they thought was out there for them, it doesn't compare to what they walked away from, right? So for some of you, if you're in a twin flame dynamic, what I'll say about that is that a lot of what you're feeling is a projection. You know, that's the devil, right? The devil is a liar. The devil shows you things that aren't real. This is someone else's energy influencing how badly you're feeling right now, because it looks like the person that's coming up in your reading is literally feeling what you feel. Okay? So a lot of you are psychics or empaths. You're very intuitive or clairvoyant or clairaudient. Because with what I'm seeing here, this is not your energy, Gemini. And I feel like that's why the cards are saying that you can put this feeling down whenever you want. This is not your burden to carry, right? you're still connected to whoever this is to the point that you're feeling the desperation that they feel. You know, you're feeling the ending that they feel. Because if you look, you know, at the cards and what we've been talking about, you were very empowered when you made the decision that you made, right? You were not willing to continue to settle. You saw that this needed to come to an end, and that by being sad over this, that would be you just feeling bad over something that wasn't that great, right? Like, obviously, you have a past with this person or you have a history with this person. But if you can think back to how you felt when you were dealing with them, right? When you made the decision to leave or to do something else, that was a very empowering decision. You felt like you were putting yourself first. And so if you truly think about it, you don't have anything to feel bad about. I want you to take a look at everything you've been feeling, Geminis, and really start to see if it applies to your life or if it makes sense. You know, should you be feeling so low right now? Have you done anything to feel like the bad guy? Right? Is there a reason that you should be feeling as though nothing in your life will work? That's the devil energy, right? And that's because it's a projection of what this person is feeling. And so I think it would be very good for you to go back to the drawing board and try to separate your feelings from this person's feelings, because this is a projection, right? You will have a happily ever after. You do have things to be optimistic about. You've made so much progress in your life, but you're not feeling that way. And that's because the person that you're connected to is going through their own dark night of the soul. So it's actually very good that you separated from this person, because if you imagine how you're feeling, and then you realize that you're feeling their energy projected on you because they're thinking of you, they're feeling this times 10, times 100, right? And that's what needed to happen if you were going to see any growth in this situation. When I'm looking at your advice, you got the 3 of Wands in the reverse. So you're being asked to stop focusing on the future, because there's something about the future that I feel like is upsetting to you. Perhaps it's you taking what you see with your eyes right now and projecting it into the future, so that it's like, wow, nobody loves me right now. Nobody's ever loved me. Nobody will love me in the future, right? It's almost like you're speaking words into your existence of lack. You know, you need to stop worrying about that and start paying attention to now, because there's happiness to be found in your life right now, but you don't feel that way, right? And sometimes that snowballs. Like, when something's not going our way, no matter what we do, it's very easy to start thinking about the past and all of the things that didn't go our way, and then start thinking about the future and all the things that will never materialize because we don't have evidence of it, right? And in doing that, it's like you're condemning yourself to a lifetime of sadness. You get what I mean? What you're not realizing with this 3 of Swords in the reverse is this power struggle is almost over. Just as much as you're feeling as though perhaps you should have turned around, this person is feeling that they should have gone after you, okay? So Gemini, I'm going to take a look at your person's energy. You guys try to stay strong, because I can pick up on how sad you are or how frustrating this is. And I know it feels like you're spinning your wheels. But when you start feeling that way, just remember that that's not you, right? You're the Empress, but because you're so intuitive, this person's energy is knocking you completely out of alignment, because that's everything that they're going through, which they should be, right? Because they let you get away. So in the extended reading, I'm going to take a look at them. We're going to see what's going on with them, how they feel about you. We're going to take a look at what they want, what they're not telling you, all kinds of stuff. I will put the preview to that at the end of the video. Thank you so very much for allowing me to read for all of you, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Bye. Now they're looking at whatever that other situation is, and they're starting to realize that that was really the only problem that the 2 of you had in your relationship. So whatever the influence is that they kept, whether it was an addiction or another person, they look back at this situation and they feel like that was really the only problem that the two of you ever had. Outside of that, your relationship was as perfect as a relationship could be, right? Obviously, there's ups and downs, but now they're starting to see that a lot of the downs that the two of you had would never have happened had they not continued to keep putting something else in the relationship. That could be an idea, that could be a person, that could be a habit, right? For each of you, it may be something different, but they're starting to see that the two of you are very harmonious together. You didn't have a bunch of problems, right? It was just whatever this was that they kept ignoring or kept thinking that you should be okay with. They're starting to realize that they were asking too much of you, right? Especially because of everything that you were giving to them when it feels like they were giving to everyone else, okay?